श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन् नूतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः यात इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्र शिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशं तापि चाकशीः यामिषं गिरिशन्तः हस्तेभिर्भर्षस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरु माहिगं पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावतामसि यता नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अद्य वोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक् अहीगिश्च सर्वा आञ्जम्भयन् सर्वा आश्च यातु दान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये क्षेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षिश्रिता सहस्रशो वैशागं हेडईमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदाहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अतो ये अस्य सत्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्चदन्वनस्त्वमुभयोराग्नियोज्याम् याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्यदनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु धे निशीर्य शल्यान्नामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विज्यं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उता अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निशं गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीढुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाया नातताय दृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अतो य इषुदिस्तवारे अस्मन्निदेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः।
नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्य पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते पतीनां पतये नमो नमो पप्लुषाय विव्याधिने नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो पवस्य हेत्य जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तताविने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो पुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्कोशाय क्रन्दयते पतीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय तावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः
नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुबाय निषङ्गिने पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिन इषुतिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रीकाविभ्यो जिगागुं सत्यो मुष्णताम् पतये नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो नक्तं चरद्भ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो दन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतितदानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयक्षद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्थिस्तद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो श्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः
नमः आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविद्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उकनाभ्यस्त्रगंहतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो कृत्सेभ्यो कृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतिभ्यो रतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृत्यो दन्भकृत्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वनेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः
नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो किरीशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीडुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आसवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय चावस्वन्याय च नमः श्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च
नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुध्नियाय च नमः सोऽप्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः ऊर्वर्याय च कल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय चाशुरताय च नमः शूराय चावबिन्दते च नमो वर्मिने च वरूतिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च
नमो तुन्तुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो तृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषुतिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे शवे च युधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुदन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पत्याय च नमः खाद्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूत्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः गोप्याय च वद्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईत्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च
ॐ हर 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 ॐ नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः स्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमः स्थित्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आधार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्ठ्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रवार्याय च
नम इरिण्याय च प्रपत्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः ऊर्व्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमो पगुरमानाय च विघ्नते च नमः आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो किरिकेभ्यो देवानागं हृदयेभ्यो नमो दिक्षिणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नमः आनिर्हतेभ्यो नमः आमीवत्केभ्यः
त्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत या ते रुद्रशिवा तनु शिवा विश्वाः भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजितया नो मृडजीवसे इमागं रुद्राय तवसे कपत्तिने क्षयत्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिं यथा न शमसत्पिपते चतुष्पथे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृतिक्षयत्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्चं च योश्च मनुराय जे पिता तदश्याम तव रुद्रप्रणीतो मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितम् मानो वदे पितरं मोत मातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोकेतनये मान आयुषि मानो कोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वदिर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधीमते आराध्ये गोग्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयत्वीराय सुम्नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अति च देव ब्रूह्यता च न शर्म यच्च द्विबर्हा आह स्तुहि श्रुतं गत्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहर्तुमुग्रं मृडा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतर्प्रणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरगायोः अवस्थिरा मघवत्यस्तनुष्वमीध्वस्तोकाय तनयाय मृडया मीडुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्तिं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रताकये विकिरित विलोकित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्र हेतयोन्यमस्मन्निवपन्तु ताः
सहस्राणि सहस्रधा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवत्पराचीर्नामुखाकृधि सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्या आम् तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवे एन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठा आशर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कपर्दिनः ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पतां पतिरक्षय ऐलभृदायव्युधः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृकावन्तो निषङ्गिनः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्तिरे तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये एन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु ते यं द्विष्मो यश्च नो वेष्टितं भोजम्भे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नो यो अप्सु य ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्यो मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा आ प्राणानां क्रन्तिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेना आप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टु हि यस्विषु सुधन्वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा महेशौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो ओभिर्देवमसुरं दुवस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभेषजो यगं शिवाभिमर्शनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यदा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
साई हमारे Nandalala, Nandalala,
हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो गिरिजापति भवानी शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो
The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सेबं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच.
Since the late 1960s, Karuna Sarup Munshi grew up in a Sai-infused environment in Srinagar, Kashmir, where she attended the Presentation Convent School. After completing her high school from Singapore with high academic achievement, she then joined the Anantapur campus of Swami's College and graduated with a master's degree in philosophy, securing a gold medal. After training in electronic news gathering and documentary making at the prestigious Film Training Institute in Pune, she then worked as a TV journalist for India's national broadcaster before she moved to Canada in 1991. She later pursued communication studies at the University of Toronto and held various eminent positions in the field of journalism in both India and in Canada. Sister Karuna Munshi served the Sai mission in Canada for over 2 decades, serving as the secretary of the largest Sai center in the world for 2 terms. She also taught SSE Balavikas Group 3 and also served as a youth coordinator as well. She was the secretary of Sri Sathya Sai School of Canada in Toronto for 9 years until she relocated to Puttaparthi along with her family. From 2007 to 2019, Karuna volunteered at Radio Sai for 12 years, hosting programs, producing documentaries, and contributing content for its e-journal Heart to Heart. Concurrently, she also taught English at Sri Sathya Sai Mirpuri College of Music for over 2 years. Since 2017, she has been the director of Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vahini program at Prashanti Nilayam, a digital education program launched by Swami which combines academic content with human values, training and teaching aids to hundreds and thousands of teachers and students across India, as it is now available nationally to anyone through the Prime Minister of India's open source education platform diksha.gov.india. Sister Karuna is the grateful daughter of Sai Sevadal parents. She and her siblings and their children are also former Sai students. We now invite Sister Karuna Munshi to share her thoughts with us. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Loving pranams at her lotus feet, where I place my heart, my soul, my all, along with my undying love and my deep, deep gratitude. Salutations to the Divine Mother Sai Mata, who is also present in each and every beautiful lady or Devi who is joining us today. And loving Sai Ram to our dear brothers as well. Respected elders, dear sisters and brothers. Ladies' Day 2021 greetings to all of you from the Divine Valley of Prashanti Nilayam, India, the spiritual powerhouse of the universe. I hope all of you are doing well, staying healthy during these very trying times. Now, every year there are some special days in our calendars and they usually mark special interest groups. For example, Earth Day, Environment Day, Disability Day, Autism Day, Mental Health Awareness Day, Children's Day, World Diabetes Day, and so on. Each of these special days is meant to raise awareness about an area or a special interest group that needs more focus. So it's only legit to ask if celebrating Ladies' Day is a diss or an honor really for us ladies. What exactly are we celebrating? Being a special group? Through this function, are we not acknowledging the fact that women are a marginalized group that need a once a year spotlight or voice? What about the remaining 364 days of the year? You know, when I was working at Radio Sai, which is now known as the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, if ever any one of my young and gallant brothers and I got to the door at the same time in the office, they would always say, Didi, please go ladies first. But I had a standing joke. I would grab the door and allow the brother to pass first, saying, in our world, it's not ladies first, but ladlas first. And ladla in Hindi, by the way, means the pampered preferred kid, sometimes also known as the brat. Now, all this silliness and jokes aside, we all know that Bhagwan Baba, although he displayed a beautiful sense of humor throughout his avataric career, had incarnated for a very specific and serious mission with very specific priorities, which he had declared as the following: establishment of righteousness in society, restoration of the Vedas and Vedic culture, for it is the most harmonious and peaceful way of life that honors the sacredness of all forms of life, nature, elements, plants, humans, beyond, and for the protection of the devotees of God. The list of devotees who need his protection, I believe it has a skewed gender ratio, definitely more ladies than gents. To prove my point, just look at the Sai Kulwant Hall. Ladies' side is always packed before the gents fill up their area, or the lineup outside our canteens, or the lineup outside the bakery, and especially the long line of ladies, eager beaver shoppers who wait outside the shopping complex. You get my point. Besides, Bhagwan has said that in the case of most devotees, it is the women who are responsible for drawing the men in their lives to Bhagwan. Most devotees in the Sri Sathya Sai family have had a mother, a sister, or their wife, or their daughter, or a lady co-worker who was instrumental in bringing them to the lotus feet. And in his infinite wisdom, and as the ocean of compassion, Bhagwan recognized and repeatedly acknowledged the significant role that women play as the custodians of culture and values in society, as catalysts of reformation. And he also emphasized their spiritual strength and their unappreciated contributions to the well-being of our families and society. That is why he worked in his characteristic manner to first reform the education system of India by selecting this special interest group, the one half of the human population, namely women, so that generations of women grow with knowledge, not just secular knowledge of the sciences and the arts, but more of the self. He started a ladies' college of what is now a 4-campus university known as the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. The first campus he set up in 1968 was exclusively for women in a hot and arid town of Anantapur, 65 kilometers from Prasanthi Nilayam. I am one of the thousands of grateful alumni of that institution, and I do hope there are several more alumni members of Anantapur in this audience. Now, on this Ladies' Day 2021, what can I say to the ladies and my well-balanced, sensitive brothers who are in touch with their feminine energy? When you yourself live in a country that has Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as the longest-serving sovereign monarch, and much like us in India, you have also had a highly capable lady Prime Minister in Margaret Thatcher. Elsewhere in the world, even in the most progressive democracies, this milestone remains to be achieved, to have a woman leader. And Ladies' Day is a good time to introspect what being a lady means in today's society, in our world, in our personal world, that is our social circle, our workplaces, society at large, our country. And the pandemic reminds us that it's very important to find our place in the planet at large. It's only in hindsight and after careful reflection, it becomes clear that Bhagwan Baba actually turned the paradigm of conventional thinking in many areas, including our understanding of feminism. Well, while the Western feminist movement speaks of women's rights and freedom in terms of choices in matters related to the physical health, and to some extent emotional and mental issues, Bhagwan Baba broke the sound barrier in the thinking of women when he empowered us with the sense of freedom that comes from inside out rather than from outside in. Now, low self-esteem and a poor sense of self-identity plague women even in so-called advanced societies. And here is Bhagwan, who redefined the very concept of self by telling us to identify ourselves not with our bodies, not with our minds, but with the light within, our effulgent spirit, endowed with infinite wisdom and divine qualities within, rather than our physical forms. The light is in me, I am in the light, I am the light. That's the mantra he gave us, isn't it? Now, if I am the light, no matter how far I am from being size 0 or size 2 that Hollywood and Bollywood and mainstream media promote, body shaming cannot take grip of my mind and lower my sense of self-worth. A healthy weight is my target. If I am the light, then feeling bright, effulgent, and expansive is my nature. This means I should feel comfortable in my skin no matter what my skin tone and its imperfections. And we all need to work on that. If I am the light, feeling radiant from within is my nature. Finding meaning and purpose in what I do and how I do it is where I draw my sense of gratification from. If I am the light, then the only validation I need to seek is from my source, the big light, my sunshine, my beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. If he has confidence in me, I should feel strong enough to take on the world, starting with myself. Let's begin by first tackling our own fears, our own insecurities and inhibitions. External validation is always welcome, but it loses its grip on my mood swings if I remember who I am. If I am the light, then every time I experience external criticism and censure, I'm open to course correction, but I must not let it dim my brilliance. By redefining our identity as the Atmic self, as Devis who are here to perform a sacred role in the drama of our current incarnation, Bhagwan gave us a whole new perspective of who we really are. Every girl child born is a little goddess, come to heal the world, because she's inherently a repository of empathy, unconditional love, sacrifice, and compassion. That is her nature. Of course, the nurturing also plays a part in who she turns out to be eventually. By teaching us to re-look at ourselves as the divine spirit, Bhagwan has given us wings to fly, while first strengthening our roots in the time-tested wisdom of Sanatan Dharma. The Vedic age saw women scholars, warriors, court advisors. Ancient Indians were equal opportunity providers, not misogynists. Only with the decline of that hoary culture of Bharat did the degradation of women happen. And unfortunately, that's the narrative that tends to make its way to mainstream media these days. Veda tells us that gods reside there where women are honored and respected. Indian culture worships the feminine principle as nature, Mother Nature, as do all ancient civilizations such as the Mayans, the Greeks, and the Egyptians. Whatever is worthy of veneration is described as feminine: Mother Earth, Mother Country, Mother Tongue, Mother Cow, and of course our biological mother. And Baba says all these mothers are worthy of veneration and worship. And how do the Bharatiyas refer to the repository of ancient wisdom called the Vedas? We refer to them as Vedamata, Mother Veda. We worship the one and only God who has many names and many forms. And each forms, not only do we recognize the feminine principle, but we also give it its due prominence. Pay attention to the names we chant while singing: Radhe Shyam, Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, Uma Maheshwar, and so on. The feminine always precedes. Bhagwan often reminds us of the contribution and steadfastness of women in terms of their commitment to a relationship. He quotes the example of Sati, who actually managed to recall her husband from the jaws of death, or rather from the god of death, by her smarts, her wit, her strategy, and her steadfastness. And he lovingly joked that there is no account of a man who, having lost his wife, tried to bring her back to life with his efforts matching Sati. Typically, Swami said that very often various men who had lost their beloved spouse would come, these widowers would come and seek solace and consolation from Swami after suffering a personal loss. And then a few months or a year later, they would return again very submissively, seeking Swami's permission to remarry for the sake of the children who needed a mom. Of course, we can't generalize nor trivialize these existential human conditions, nor can we sit on judgment. But when it comes to devotion to nurturing a relationship, traditionally, women have played a key role as anchors who held their families together. And they have done so without much fanfare or the need for attention. Silently, sincerely, steadily, women have also played an important role in the Sri Satya Sai mission. Whether it was the chosen mother, Srimati Ishwaramba, or Srimati Subhamma, or the Rajmata, or Justice Padma Khastagir, or Mrs. Ratandal Aunty, or Mrs. Jayalakshmi Gopinath, or Dr. J. Hemlata, or our beloved warden and kitchen auntie from primary school, Mrs. Prema Bahel and Mrs. Indu Singh. All these and many other women of sterling character have made stellar contributions to the Lord's mission with their undying devotion, dedication, and service. I would describe them as women of fierce faith. And they've all moved on to the other side. And we therefore offer our pranams to each of these Devis who incarnated specifically to work alongside the avatar in the fulfillment of his mission. Even today, there are many more divine incarnations in the feminine form who are still around us. These trailblazers who are breathing, living epitomes of selfless sacrifice. They continue to serve their Lord, Sai, and they work behind the scenes without the need for attention or limelight or recognition. And it's a pity that these real-life heroines, these unsung sheroes, move amongst us, and yet we somehow fail to recognize them or take them for granted, or we choose to ignore them. Today, on this Ladies' Day 2021, I ask of all my dear sisters, look around you and recognize the living, walking, waking, talking goddesses in our families, our neighborhoods, and Sai community, and take a moment to smile at them. Inquire about their welfare. Spend some quality time with them and find simple ways to help them in case they need any assistance. Secondly, recognize, respect, and honor the goddess within each one of us. You are divine. We are all divine. You too are the light, and you have a mission to accomplish which goes beyond the rice cooker, the rotary, the laptop, and the frying pan. It is way more important than our successes in our profession. It is to grow and manifest from within the goddesses that we are. That's powerful, but that is true. Sometimes the truth is so stark and powerful that we are shaken when we are confronted with it. We must reaffirm to ourselves our commitment to our spiritual growth. And this pandemic has taught us what really matters and how much of our life and its drama is simply superfluous. Each of us matters, and of the many roles we play as daughters, sisters, spouses, in-laws, co-workers, we have to remember that's what these are, mere roles in this stage of life. We need not get overly attached to this role play. We have our entry points and defined exit points in the drama of our lives. The director has each role planned to perfection. Some of us have a bigger engagement than others. So essentially, who are we? We are divine beings here to have a human experience, and then we are supposed to return to our divine nature. The current lifetime is but a bridge, like London Bridge, between where we came from, the source, and our final destination, which is against the same source. So it's like a circular bridge. So why get comfortable on this bridge, this connecting corridor that is our present life, and why should we get attached to it? Who, after all, wants to build a house on a bridge? In the din and noise of our everyday, very busy, stressful lives, let's use this moment, this one day that Swami has dedicated to us ladies, to reflect on our spiritual goals, our journey so far, and make steadfast resolves to achieve them by living his teachings. Bhagwan says that in the entire creation, the most supreme of his creation is humanity. And amongst human beings, it's the women who are the crown jewel of creation. Yet, we do have some weaknesses. One time Swami said, women have 7 divine qualities. These include compassion, love, sacrifice, selflessness, and tolerance, and so perseverance, and so on. And he was joking, and just to make a point, he said the men have 3, anger, jealousy, and ego. But that was just to make ladies feel happy, I think, that moment. And Swami says we women have a few weaknesses that we should work on. One of them being excessive talking. Second, gossip. And third, minding other people's business. Although I'm afraid this can't entirely be a specialization of women. I'm sure there are non-women also who indulge in it, but Swami did point this out towards us. Anyway, if we can overcome these qualities to talk excessively, to poke our nose in other people's business and gossip, I think we can, we will be able to find our balance. And when I say balance, I mean we must speak up and express ourselves when we need to. And that much self-confidence is a must for every woman. Not speaking up and bottling up leads to inner turmoil. It leads to emotional backlog. And these unresolved issues can manifest as illnesses. So we should have the confidence to say our piece. But Swami has given us 3 beautiful filters before we say our piece. Whether it is in a family discussion or a Sai Center matter or a workplace discussion. What we want to speak, we must examine it from these lenses. What I'm going to say, is it true, accurate, and devoid of any exaggeration? Is it necessary? And what I'm going to say, will it improve upon the silence? Is it true, accurate, devoid of exaggeration? Is it necessary? And is it going to improve upon the silence? Today, we need to reaffirm first to ourselves that we are the darling daughters of our very sweet Mother Sai. This reminder must first be addressed not to the men and other women in our lives or our children or our in-laws or our bosses, but to ourselves. We have all been there, done it all, because once Swamiji came into our lives, we all have had to eat a lot of humble pie. Let's not forget that, and let's not overlook that. Most of us have had our egos pulverized in our cold and hot press juicer. We have been tossed from the depths of agony to the heights of ecstasy, back and forth, because we made a choice. We chose to walk in the path of God and chose a goal so lofty that it demands deep and continuous inner cleansing. The process can be deeply agonizing at times. So many tests, so many challenges. But in the process, the experience we have gained is what fires our confidence and our undying love for Swami. Time has indeed come for each one of us to stand up for what we believe in, or else, dear sisters, life will pass by us with our music still inside us. That's a sure short way to reincarnate and not get to moksha, because we'll have so much of unfinished business, so many unresolved issues. Meanwhile, if today on this Ladies' Day you feel overwhelmed, tired, or rather disheartened with the state of affairs in your life or in the world around you, let me remind you the struggles of your best friend and mine too, who does it over and over again. This awesome girl called Shakti, and she goes through life. She goes through fire, she goes through hail, she goes through storms. And somehow Shakti manages to look like $1,000,000 even when she's at her fiercest, because she's all lit up from within. We can all stand to learn from the story of the warrior princess, my friend Shakti and your friend too, whose victory or vijayam, or to be more precise, whose triumph is celebrated every year during the Navratri festival, which culminates on Dasera. So our Shiro, I call her by many names, depending on her mood and her mode of operation. Today, we'll refer to her as Shakti. Shakti, our role model, is always a busy girl. Like most self-aware women, she has been busy doing what ladies do best, fighting for the causes that we believe in, not through an online petition or a war of words on Twitter, but through an intense battle involving all the elements within, around, and at multiple levels. This is serious stuff, I'm afraid. Even the Avengers can't match it. So here's a quick report of what keeps Shakti busy during Navratri. For 9 nights, the goddess fights, and she fights with valor, smarts, and strategy. She has a game plan with specific and measured outcomes to achieve. One demon to vanquish each night, that is her personal target. And she prioritizes using her infinite wisdom. So on the first night, Shakti quells guess who? Kama, the demon of lust. On the second night, she extinguishes Krodha, the demon of anger. Then, on the third, she dispels the demon of attraction or moha. She then shatters Lobha, the demon of greed. In the fifth night, she comes face to face with the demon Mada and vanquishes pride. Hers is an exhausting task, undaunted, undefeated, with an iron resolve to exorcise all her demons. Shakti continues on her mission to vanquish many more. On the sixth night, she is confronting the swirling enemy named jealousy, Matsara, and she reduces it to nothingness. Then, still smiling with the energy of beauty, inner beauty, she goes forward to smite the ugliness of Swartha, the demon of selfishness. On the eighth night, she terminates Anyay or injustice. On the ninth night, using all her kindness, she banishes Amanvata, the dreadful demon of cruelty. And then on the morning after the 9th night, finally she's about to rest when Shakti realizes that her most difficult foe was still upon her. You know what they say? A woman's job is never done. So what exactly does she do, you wonder? Shakti sits in the lotus position, lays down all her weapons, and with a gentle smile and a gentler sigh, she dissolves the final demon, Ahankara, her ego. Dear sisters and brothers, today, if we had to celebrate her victory, how would we do it? That's a question we should be asking. What would be an appropriate victory party for Shakti, this warrior princess who gives it all each Navaratri to restore balance, equilibrium, and peace? How do we mark her awesome achievement? And guess what? Shakti is still nursing a repeat action injury and getting quite fed up actually with this role, because it turns out she has been doing this every year, several times a year, because there are multiple Navratris. There is the spring and autumn Navratri, the Vasant and Sharad Navratri, and so on. And she is the quintessential woman, the goddess that you and I are meant to be. Like a reboot on your computer, Shakti is assigned the task to delete and trash files, block spam, renew security software to block hackers and viruses, and reset universal balance by restoring the harmony in and around us, by bringing nature into a state of normalcy as the creator, that is her source, her boss, ordained. Shakti is feisty. Shakti is unrelenting and focused. She's a force of nature on a mission. When I refer to her as a force of nature, I refer to that fire within each one of you, each one of the ladies who has incarnated in the awareness of God's presence on earth in the form of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Now, that is why on this Ladies' Day of 2021, let us celebrate the presence of Shakti, the sum total of the three forces of Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati in us and around us. These include the ladies who have birthed us, raised us, nurtured us, mentored us, and loved us as their daughters and sisters and friends. But first, let's recognize and nurture the Shakti within each one of us. Let us also mark this sacred day by deleting all our own old files and memories that are painful, hurts, and nagging thoughts. Let's let go of the past. Let's stop worrying about the future and live in the present moment. The present is indeed a present from God. It's a gift. Let's devour it. Let us savor it. Let's relish it, because who has seen tomorrow? I remember when I was in my final year of Anandpur College and we got one of those interviews, coveted interviews, Swami asked a lot of the girls in my group, what are you going to do next? And a lot of girls asked Swami, what should I study next? So Swami said, do MBA and whatever, BCom, MCom, BEd, and MRS. MRS was the girls he wanted to become from Miss to Mrs. and get married. So that was the little fun joke we had. Now, in this continuous, so many girls kept asking these questions that at one point in time, Swami told us to back up and he said, calm down, all of you are constantly asking me, what should I do next? Why are you so worried about the future? And he said, young people, they keep worrying about what's going to happen next. And he pointed to one of the elders in the interview room and he said, people like her only romanticize about the good old days. When I was a young person, the world was so perfect, and things used to be like this. And he said, in this mad rush, one generation only falling back on memories, the other one only imagining what is yet to come. Everyone is missing the point. The point is the picture right now, the current moment. So Swami reminded us that we must learn to live in the present, because what we are experiencing now is an outcome of the seeds we had sown in the past. But past is gone, is history. The future no one has seen, it's a mystery. All you have is the present moment. Whatever we sow now, we will reap later on. And he gave the example. For example, if we are going to sow a lemon seed right now, it is likely to grow into a lemon bush or a lemon tree. And what will it yield? Lemons. Citrus, high potency vitamin C, juicy lemons. Now, it's not going to give you luscious sweet mangoes or carbohydrate and potassium rich bananas, because the seed you sow is a lemon seed. So let's use this beautiful day to live it up as the goddesses by going through an inner audit and clearing our backlog of pain and grudges and deletable junk. All the archived files, delete permanent yes, and reboot our spiritual energy, for we are the darling daughters of a divine mother. We owe it to ourselves to pay attention to all this. You know, there is more really to life. I know we are so caught up between the kitchen sink, the office file, the conference call, because as I said, just like Shakti, a woman's work is never done. But every now and then we need to pause. The pause is very important. Let the world wait till we have had a chance to refresh and renew ourselves with an important reminder. The light is in me. I am in the light. I am the light. You are the light. You are effulgent. You are radiant. And you are brilliant. Happy Ladies' Day. Jai Sai Ram.
కనుక మొట్టమొదట మాతృమూర్తి యొక్క ప్రేమను మనం గుర్తించండి.
So first and foremost, recognize the love of the
అందువల్లనే
mother.
19వ తారీఖు నందు మాతృమూర్తి యొక్క ఆరాధనా దినము అని.
So it is the day, the 19th November is the
మదర్స్ డే
day.
అన్నారు.
It is the Mother's Day, the
కారణం
worship of
ఏమిటి?
the mother. Why?
అన్నిటికీ నీ జన్మకు మూల కారణం మదరే.
Because the mother is a very person who gives birth to
దేశానికి కూడా
everybody.
మీరు చూడండి, ఎక్కడ పోయినా మదర్ ల్యాండ్ అంటారు, కానీ ఫాదర్ ల్యాండ్ అని ఎవరైనా అంటున్నారా?
Even your own country is called your motherland, not fatherland.
కనుకనే ల్యాండ్ కూడా మదర్ ల్యాండ్ అంటున్నారు.
So everything, your country is called
మన
mother.
భాషను మాతృభాష అంటారు, కానీ పితృభాష అంటున్నారా?
We say mother tongue, we don't say
మన
father
వాక్కు
tongue.
కూడాను మదర్ యొక్క స్వరూపమే.
So even our words are the
మన
very form
జీవితం
of the
అంతా
mother.
మదర్ యొక్క స్వరూపమే.
Our existence is
మనం
the form.
నివసించే ప్రపంచం అంతా కూడాను మదర్ యొక్క స్వరూపమే.
All that we live in is the very form of the mother.
కనుకనే మనము మదర్ యొక్క తత్వాన్ని మొట్టమొదట అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి.
So we have got to realize the principle of the mother first.
ఈనాడు
Today,
అనేక విధమైనటువంటి స్త్రీల యొక్క పవిత్రమైనటువంటి గుణములను ప్రపంచానికి చాటే నిమిత్తము ఏనాడో ప్రపంచమునకు ఆధారమైనటువంటి యొక్క పౌరులుగా తయారు చేయవలసినటువంటి మధులు తల్లుల యొక్క గుణములు మనం మెచ్చుకోవాలి.
we have got to recognize and appreciate those virtues and the values that women have, especially as mothers.
కౌసల్యవర సూక్తి గర్భమౌటను కదా రాముడు దేవుడై రమణిగాంచే.
It was Kausalya who gave birth to Rama, who was such a beautiful.
సీతామహాసాధ్వి చెలగి పెంచుట కదా కవలు కుశలవులు తాగనులు నౌట.
And because of Sita, the great mother, everything became so wonderful and valuable.
ఈశ్వరంబాసాధ్వి ఎత్తి పెంచుట కదా సత్యనారాయణుడు విశ్వశాంతి కలిగే. జిజియాలలామ చెలగి పెంచుట కదా వీర సమాధియు వీర వాసియుగ విగాంచే.
It was Mother Ishwaramba, the great woman, who gave birth to Satyanarayana, who is responsible now for world
శివాజీ
peace.
ఆ యొక్క తల్లి జీజీబాయ్ ఎంతనో ప్రేమతో పెంచింది.
Jijibai nurtured Shivaji with so much of love.
పుత్తలీ దేవిత పురిగి చెంచుట కదా గాంధీ మహాత్ముడై ఘనతగాంచే.
It's Putali Devi, who was a mother of Gandhi.
అన్నింటికి తల్లులే మూల కారణము.
It's mother who is the very cause of
అట్టి
everything.
తల్లుల యొక్క గుణములు ఈనాడు మనము గుర్తించుకోలేకపోతున్నాం.
The virtues of mothers we are not able to recognize today.
కనుక తల్లుల యొక్క గుణములు పవిత్రమైనప్పుడే జగత్ అనేటువంటిదంతా పవిత్రముగా మారిపోతుంది.
It's only when we recognize the virtue and the purity of mother's love, the whole world becomes pure. Embodiments of love.
రాబోయేటువంటి భవిష్యత్తుకు ఈనాటి బాలికలు మాతృమూర్తి యొక్క తత్వాన్ని గుర్తించి పవిత్రమైనటువంటి యొక్క పౌరులుగా మీరు అభివృద్ధిగాంచి దేశమునకు ఆదర్శాన్ని మీరు నిరూపించాలని ఆశిస్తూ ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ నా ప్రసంగాన్ని విరమిస్తున్నాను.
The young girls of today, recognizing that the future is in their hands, they should become worthy and good mothers and then bring about peace and happiness to the world.
Om Shri Sai Ram. As part of our special prayers for the health and well-being of our brothers and sisters around the world, we have Swami chanting the Gayatri mantra, and then we will have the Mrityunjaya mantra. Please join in the chanting if you can. Sai Ram.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्.
Om Shri Sai Ram. We will shortly start the meditation. Please sit comfortably with back straight and sufficient space around you. The chanting of the Sai Gayatri will be played in the background. Please do not chant along with it, as this is a session for silent meditation. Let us focus our mind on Swami and set aside all other thoughts. At the end of the meditation, there will be a 1-minute silence. Now we will start the meditation.
Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ 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 साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्।
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्ति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शिव जना श्रीकरा लगा कायपते स्वामी लगा कायपते
Om Shri Sai Ram. Mill Hill Sai Center hopes you enjoyed today's offering of bhajans. Thought for the week. It is good to attend discourses on the Gita by learned scholars. However, this is of no use if you lean on a pillar in the lecture hall and doze off. That is to say, it is not the sound but the meaning that matters. It is not the ear but the heart that must drink the nectar of the Gita and imbibe its essence. Seek and enjoy noble company, but along with that, there also needs to be self-examination. Examine yourself to see how much you have succeeded in escaping from the senses and getting close to God. The mind is like a wild elephant which can be tamed by the repetition of the Lord's name. Do not feed it with conceit, envy, hatred, and greed. Let the name of the Lord echo ever in the ear. Baba.
I offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dear Swami. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Jai Sai Ram. The quote for the week is, study to be steady, Baba, Jai Sai Ram.
My most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Jai Sai Ram. These are the announcements for Sunday, the 21st of November. Swami's 96th birthday celebrations. We will be meeting in the centre on Sunday the 28th of November at 8:20 a.m. to celebrate Swami's birthday. The program includes a play titled Connecting with Swami by the Mill Hill Youth and a talk combined with songs by our guest Mrs. Niranjana Mahalingam. She is blessed to be born into a family who have been Sai devotees for about 6 decades. Swami has been a guiding force in her life. He guided her to do a PhD in Puttaparthi and later for her marriage. She is currently living in Preston near Manchester with her husband. The program will be in person in the centre and starts at 8:20 a.m. with Veda chanting. We will follow the usual COVID protocols. Online program on the 23rd of November. As per Mill Hill tradition, we will have an early morning celebration on Swami's birthday on the 23rd of November. The program starts at 6 a.m. online with Om chanting 21 times, followed by Swami's Suprabhatam. We will then have a short Vedam chanting session akin to the Vedam which happens in Prashanti Nilayam, and then the bhajans, similar to the Nagar Sankirtan in the mandir. The program will conclude at 7 a.m. with Aarti. Birthday Sadhana Program. The theme for Swami's birthday this year is connecting or reconnecting with Swami. Accordingly, we have taken up a daily sadhana activity in the run-up to Swami's 96th birthday, which we will do up till the 22nd of November. We will keep Swami at the forefront of everything we do in our daily life, throughout the day. Remember him whether at home or work, whatever we are doing. And at the end of the day, let us also reflect on whether our thoughts, words and deeds made Swami smile in appreciation. We will also be doing a visual meditation with Swami's darshan every morning and evening. Darshan videos will be shared in the evening one day prior. This is a good way to connect with Swami at the start and end of the day. It is also a great opportunity to do this sadhana along with your friends and family. Birthday Server Project. With the blessings of our beloved Swami, we would like to undertake a very noble service project for Swami's birthday. We would like to sponsor eye operations in India to the poor and needy to treat cases of avoidable blindness. Each of these operations will cost £50 per person and include post-operative care and medication. Details of the Mill Hill Sai Centre account have been shared on the Signal group. For any clarifications, please contact Shankavi or Surabhi from our service wing. Study Circle. Please join us for our online study circle today from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. We are reading and discussing the Prashanti Vahini, a book written by Swami. For any further details, please contact Seemanti, our spiritual coordinator. Feedback. If you have any comments, feedback or suggestions regarding the programs being organised by Mill Hill Sai Centre or anything else we can do as a centre, please do share your thoughts with our centre chair on millhill.centrechair@gmail.com or 07722 197 830. We wish you all a happy, holy and healthy week ahead. Jai Sai Ram.